Episode 25 of the Searley Talks Warriors podcast, brought to you by the legends at Ortex. Today, we're joined by a player a lot of you have been asking to hear from, our starting winger and try scoring machine, Ed Kosi. Ed, cheers for jumping on, bro.
Sweet. Thanks for having me.
Final game of the year this Saturday against the Titans. How are you and the lads? How keen are you to get out there, get in a big performance, and finish off the season with a win?
Nah, you're pretty keen to get out there once again at my smart. Yeah, finish the year strong. I know it'll be a packed stadium when we get back home. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Yeah, I think it was just announced it's sold out with Vodafone giving away the free tickets. So how cool is it to
Yeah.
be able to finish off the year back home instead of being an Aussie like you have been the past couple years?
Yeah, it'll be awesome to finish back home. Yeah, get ready for the season. Finish the season strong and get ready for next year. Hopefully, we get that dub and yeah, finish off the year strong. Like I said.
That's the one, Brian. We'll touch on the rest of the season shortly, but let's go back to how things started for you because you're born and raised in Auckland. So can you tell us a bit about how you first got introduced to league and who was your junior club?
Yeah. So yeah, my story's a bit not like as you could say. I'm bit of a late bloomer. I started in under 13s in Manureal Marlins in
Yeah.
South Auckland. Um, then I remember taking a couple of years off, and then I moved to Mangere for high school. Then I played club footy for Mangere East Hawks from under 14s up until Fox, and then got told about the open trials for the Warriors. I was maybe 18 at the time,
Yeah.
and yeah, everything just started from there.
That's unreal. And you mentioned you're a late bloomer to league. Did you play any other like sports growing up, or were you just a bit late to get into it?
Um, I didn't play any other sports to be honest. I think I always wanted to play league. That was my like something I had in the back of my mind, but couldn't really, you know, make any rep teams. I wasn't as good growing up. I was always, that one kid who was just there to fill in the spots, you
Oh,
could say. But
humble,
I was
humble.
always happy to
Yeah.
I was always happy to you know, learn something from other players. I knew a lot of my friends were coming through development teams like the development at the Warriors, and
Yeah.
some of the other boys will sign off and get to Oz teams. But yeah, I was just happy and key to play footy, I guess.
And you mentioned those open trials, bro. Were you nervous to just
Yeah.
rock up and give it a crack, or I guess you had nothing to lose?
um, yeah, like you were saying, nothing to lose. I remember funny story. I seen on Instagram. I was scrolling through Instagram and I seen an ad from the Warriors about the open trials there. Um, and I was like, I was at the back of my mind. I still wanted to play footy.
Yeah.
And I seen the ad and I was like, nothing to lose. Might as well chuck my name in there. And I remember rocking up that day to the open trial. Thing about like 50 to 50 plus boys, all in the, chuck on the same dream as me. Probably one day rock the Warriors jersey, and yeah, I remember turning up that day, all these boys, and I remember at the end of the day, I think I was spotted by Tony Ito Sponge.
Yeah.
He'd come up to me and pulled me aside and said, "Look, we're gonna save you for." I didn't finish the game, but I think he saw something and he was like, "Oh, we're gonna save you for the second day, which was the Sunday, for the closed trial." Because
Yeah.
that first day was an open trial. So yeah, pulled me aside and said, "Look, we're gonna save you for the closed trial." Then that day's another story.
That's crazy, bro. And look at you now, unreal. And you mentioned you came up through the system. You played Jersey Flag and then reserve
Yeah,
grade, but I think you got your first taste of similar to NRL footy with the Nines back in 2020. So how was that, bro?
yeah.
And do you think the Nines should come back in the future? Is it a tournament you enjoyed?
Um, who doesn't enjoy nines? Nines fast, It's
Yeah.
good event for the fans who want to see players throughout the preseason to see the how well they're going. I reckon yeah, I didn't mind the nines. Nines was good experience for myself. I remember I was in Perth, so it's pretty long flight to Perth,
Hard.
from Auckland.
Yeah.
But yeah, Perth was different, man. It's hot,
Yeah.
weather's way different to Auckland weather. So nah, yeah, the experiences for myself personally was cool.
Tough on the lungs too, I bet, in that heat.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
On in the big ones. And 2020 was set to be a big year for you with your development in the Canterbury Cup, but then it got cancelled because of the old
Yeah.
COVID-19. So how disappointing was that, bro, to have that cancelled and kind of miss an opportunity to push to develop even further?
Yeah, 2020 was a bit of a personally a weird year for myself. I do recall we played, I think round one we played Newcastle Knights, and after that game in round one 2020, there was news about um the Warriors not being able to come back home to Auckland, back to New Zealand. So
Yeah.
at the time I was a bit like shocked. Um, so I was just thinking about family and like maybe like when is the next time I want to see my family. So for myself, at the time I was on a training trial contract. Um, Looking back at it now, I kind of regret coming back home because it would have been nice like to stay and like learn, like sort of work on my craft throughout that 2020 season. And um yeah, like I said, do kind of regret coming back home because it kind of put a stop on my development. And um yeah, building into 2021 is something I always think about when maybe what if in
Yeah.
2020.
Yeah, that's fair, bro. And you mentioned building into 2021. I think you traveled over to Aussie to start off kind of that preseason, off-season training with the team.
Yeah,
So how did you find that, bro? Was that your first kind of preseason with the NRL side? And are they as hard as everyone says they are? Because all the boys, they blow up deluxe
yeah.
saying how tough the training
Oh.
is.
um yeah, I remember that year. That wasn't my first preseason because I did the 2019 into the 2020 season preseason.
Oh, yeah.
Um, and yeah, like you say, the boys don't blow it up. Preseason's pretty tough, man.
Yeah.
Heaps of running, the lungs give out. Body's fatigued, but yeah, nah, that 2020 to 2021 preseason was pretty tough for myself. I think having to move over to Australia,
Yeah.
no family at the time. But for myself, I think it was a good experience. Being one of the young players going over, experiencing what life is like in a different country, and then also the weather plays a role in itself too.
Yeah.
You're not used to running in the 40-degree heat,
Yeah. Hard out.
especially in Tamworth, where we were at the time. So yeah, it's different. Different experience for myself.
That's crazy. And 2021 saw you start off the season playing for Redcliffe alongside some other Warriors lads like Vili Vailea, the Kepu twins, before getting the call up to the NRL side after some impressive performances from the Dolphins. So, how was it being back in the Queensland Cup? And do you think playing for Redcliffe kind of set you up well to take that next step up into the NRL?
Yeah, I thought playing at Redcliffe in the Q Cup was my first my first year in Q Cup. I did play reserve grade in the New South Wales Cup, and I kind of felt there was a difference between the two comps. Difference being, I think Q Cup's a lot faster compared to New South Wales Cup. I'm not sure now, but
Yeah.
I felt like at the time Q Cup was pretty fast. Yeah, and playing for Redcliffe was sort of like you were saying, it was good for my development. I know I think I was 3 4 games into the season before my actual debut in first grade, but yeah, I think the when I was down in Redcliffe was good for my sort of progression into first grade.
And you mentioned the debut, bro. That came in round 8, 2021 against the Cowboys at Central Coast Stadium. And
Yeah.
debut games are always a special moment. So, how did you find out you're going to be making your debut? And how proud of a moment was that for you and your family, bro?
Oh, it's a fun. Yeah, this one's a funny story. So, um, I remember my debut came probably like a 2 hour notice to me.
Oh,
Um, I was getting ready for that game day. I was told I was gonna warm up. So usually when I get told I'm gonna warm up, I just thinking, oh, I'm not gonna play, today. I'm
yeah.
gonna go warm up and then go sit in the stands and watch the boys. But I remember Brownie, Nathan Brown was coach at the time. He come up to me into my room and was like, I think you're gonna debut today, bud. And I was like shocked. I didn't know what to think.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything to him, I think at the time, but I was just like, oh man, it's
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. This is real. And then I remember walking into the team room before we left to the stadium. He told the boys I was gonna debut, and I think that's when it started to hit me like, yeah, this is real, man. It's time to go.
That's crazy. And did it almost help not knowing so far in advance? Because I guess you didn't have much time to get nervous or anything, eh?
Um, but I still felt at the
Yeah.
time nervous as like
Yeah.
after he told the boys and they were like, yeah, yeah, like hyping me up and stuff like that. And when
Yeah.
we got to the stadium, I think that's when the nerves did start to kick in. But yeah, once we got out for warm up and was warming up, I felt like um I was in the zone, as you could say. Then I felt like, yeah, it's real, it's gonna happen. And when I went into the game, I just had to get that first carry,
Yeah.
and then all the nerves just kind of flushed away. It's just another normal game. That's how I had to think of it.
And you guys got the win too, 24-20. I think the Cowboys came racing back into the game late,
Yeah,
but you managed to hold on. Did you have a moment from that
yeah.
game where you thought, man, I'm in first grade now? Was there someone that hit you or anything where you thought, shit, this is the big leagues?
Um, I think at that time in the second half, there was a bit of when they were coming like a late surge back. I felt like because they were putting on the points, I think they did start to hit my edge because they knew that I was on debut.
Yeah.
So
I think
yeah,
it
a
was
lot
you
of
and
a
Rocco
lot
as
of
well,
shit was
eh?
coming down.
Both young
Yeah,
hands. Yeah.
yeah, young right edge.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, at the time, I think they did start to throw a bit of shape down our edge, and they were scoring points. And at the time, I was thinking, man, I don't want to lose on my debut. It would be nice to get the win, but
Yeah.
yeah, luckily at the end there we finished the game with the 2 points, which is yeah to top off my debut, crazy debut.
That's unreal, bro. And you went on to play 5 NRL games that year, scoring your first try as well against the Bulldogs, I think, off the back of a nice long ball from old Reece Walsh. So how cool of a moment
Yeah.
was that for you, bro? Your first NRL try.
Oh, I was over the moon. I think yeah, like that was my last game of that year, 2021, and to score a try, yeah, on my last game of the year was pretty cool. Was what I always wanted to. I wanted to score a try in my previous matches, but wasn't putting myself in a position to score. But when I did score against the Bulldogs that game, I was so stoked. I was happy as.
Yeah, I can imagine, bro. And then 2022 saw you start the season with Redcliffe before getting the call up for
Yeah,
the Warriors to take on the Broncos in round 4. And from there, you strung together 4 straight starts before a bit of a tough night against the Storm. But every player has those days, bro. So I guess how hard was it for you to bounce back from that game mentally? Because you went on to play some unreal footy for Redcliffe in the following weeks. But I can imagine it's a bit hard to reset and get going again.
yeah, yeah. Like you were saying, it was for myself. It was yeah a tough patch in my career. After that game, I was felt like I, you know, went into my shell a bit and kind of like lacked that confidence. Um, when I did get dropped back down to reserve grade, and when I went back to ready, I knew that it's either you know go into your shell and not want to work or go the hard way and just work hard and try to earn your spot back into the team. And I felt like I was, for the 9 to 10 weeks that I was in Redcliffe, I felt like I found myself again. And I was playing some good footy, which was helped me put my hand up. And I remember I did get the call up against Parramatta, my first game back since that the shocker on Anzac Day, and I was real nervous, man. I didn't know what to expect. I was like, man, I can't have another Anzac Day game.
No, I was going to mention that one, bro, because I think it was 11 rounds later. You come back, you rip up against
Yeah.
Para, score a try. That must have been like a massive relief for you, bro, and a real confidence boost.
Oh, 100%. I remember after the game, despite the loss, I felt like I did enough to maybe put my hand up again for future games. And I did have a chat to Stace after the game, and he felt like it was a strong performance for myself against the Eels. So I think I did take a risk the next round against the Raiders when we flew down to Canberra. But then I got the call up again, a late call up again against Melbourne when we headed back home. So when I was told the news about the Melbourne game when we were back home, it was kind of like as you could see, a bit of a vengeance game for me. It's prove people wrong and prove people that I could, play first grade and that I belonged in the team.
You mentioned it. You got back to Mount Smart. That was your first game there too for the Warriors. So how was that, bro? Would have been a huge buzz, no doubt, to run out in front of a massive crowd, probably your friends and family too, and carve it up. Must have been a pretty cool feeling.
Oh, it was unreal. Always, as a young Kiwi boy, you always, when you do watch footy and you do watch growing up and watching the Warriors, you dream of playing on Mount Smart, and to be able to run out into Mount Smart packed stadium, I'll never forget the feeling. Especially because I came up through the Jersey Flag and Cup, and when I did run out and the performance that I put on was one I'll never forget.
Well, you're being humble, bro, but 3 tries, a hat trick against one of the best sides in the competition. That must be right up there in terms of one of your favorite games of your career so far, because it definitely looked like you were enjoying yourself that night.
Oh, enjoying myself, and all I had to, like I always say, all I have to do is just pin the ears back in here for the corner off the hard work that the boys do in the middle. So for me, that game was just, I reckon, all about just doing my job and sticking to the process and just putting myself in the position to score tries.
That's the one, bro. And someone actually asked about your try celebration after the second try. They asked if it was you playing the piano, but I think it was the keyboard and then telling the haters just to be a bit quiet. Was that what it was, bro? Just a bit of a statement?
That try celebration I was came natural, I think.
Yeah.
After the disappointment at the Anzac Day game, and then having to play the team from that day, when I did go over for that try, just came natural and just bit of the keyboard and a bit of a shush to the keyboard warriors. So that kept them quiet for maybe a week or so.
For sure, bro. Good on you. There's way too many of them, so I rate it, man. And since then, you've locked down the starting number 5 jersey, playing outside of Marcelo for most of your games because he shifted into centre. So how have you found teaming up with Mars? Because both of you are strong ball runners. You both give it 100%. Have you enjoyed playing outside him?
Oh, 100%. Mars is one of those players you can rely on, and Mars has been that player that I know I can go to for advice on not only footy but things outside of footy. I know that he's a really good person. So to be able to play outside of Mars, I know he's played centre early in his career. So when I do team up with Mars on that left edge, we get chats before games, so I feel so comfortable because I know there's someone inside me is I know I can count on, and he's reliable. So yeah, to be able to play with Masters just makes my game so much easier. Um, I just feel comfortable on that left wing.
And you've played 2 games at Mount Smart so far, scoring 5 tries in total, which is unreal. How much of a lift does it give you and the boys playing back at home? And how cool of it is a feeling to just
Mm.
score at Mount Smart? I bet, like you mentioned, dream come true stuff.
Yeah, well, when you're at home, you get that home advantage, and you get the crowd behind you. They keep you going. So we haven't had much of that this year. I mean, having being based in Australia, and most games are away games. You kind of get the crowd boos and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So having to go home, play off the back of the crowd, yeah, it's unreal feeling. It kind of boosts you, like you were saying. It boosts the performance of it, and yeah, when you do cross the line and you do score tries, it's unreal. The boy, the crowd, the noise, just really lifts you.
And as a result, bro, I've nicknamed the left corner of Mount Smart Kosi's Corner. So surely we'll see a couple more meat pies from you in that corner this weekend.
Oh, 100%. Kossy's corner. I
Surely.
don't
Surely.
know. Hopefully, yeah, do get to cross over again this weekend. Yeah, but that'll be just for myself. Yeah, just again, just trying to build off strong performances, and just yeah, if hopefully I do cross the line, it'll be nice.
That's the one, bro. And you've played on both the left and the right wing for the Warriors. Is there a
Yeah.
side you prefer over the other?
I I don't really have a preference.
Yeah.
I don't mind playing on both wings, but most of my 20s and reserve grade for the Warriors, I've played on the left, so I feel a little bit comfortable on the left than I do on the right. But I don't mind. I can play both edges.
Yeah, nice. And as I mentioned, last game of the season this week. So, kind of, what are the steps from here for the boys? Obviously, you kick into off season, but do you know when preseason starts already for 2023?
Um, yeah, they've kind of already started to whisper around
Oh no.
preseason starts. Yeah, so you got a bit of head noise before the off season started. So
Yeah.
I think they try plant the seed so you're not, eating too much and
Yeah.
stuff like that in the off season. But yeah, there have been a few whispers about starting dates. I know for myself, I'll be heading back into preseason on the first week. So yeah, get ready for 2023.
And how different do you reckon it'll be being back in New Zealand next year, bro? And for preseason, is that going to be like a bit of a relief for you to be back in your home country?
Yeah, a bit of a, you could say, like a stability for the boys. I know most boys are from NZ, so it'll be nice to head back home and have a preseason, full preseason back at home since the COVID hit. So it'll be good for the boys to come together and yeah, hit preseason, get preseason underway in New Zealand, and you know, build towards 2023.
Sure. And a few quick fire questions for you now, bro. A bit more chilled. What are your favorite things to do outside of footy? What will you be doing in the off season, you reckon?
Uh to be honest, I don't really do much
Yeah.
outside of footy. I do attend a lot of church. I'm a bit religious boy myself, so
Yeah.
I do attend a lot of church events during the off season. It's kind of something I do away from footy.
Yeah, nice.
Keeps me grounded as well. I know my parents
Yeah,
want
for
me to stay
sure.
grounded, so yeah, I don't do much. Probably just eat heaps.
No, good on you, bro. And do you have any pre-game superstitions or rituals, bro? Anything weird you have to do before a game every week?
um, I don't think so, but yeah, I think I may have like a little superstition about like things I wear. So I don't know if you've seen it, but I always got to wear the tights under my shorts. It's
Yeah.
like real weird stuff. I always put my left sock on before the
Yeah.
right boot, like those little things, you know. Then I always got to take certain, like, I want to drink something before I head out to the game. It's
Yeah.
just little stuff like that you know, try I think help me for the game. But yeah, other than that, nah, not really superstitious about stuff before
Fair,
games.
fair enough. And your favorite players to watch in the NRL? Do you watch much footy, bro, when you're not playing, or do you just kind of get away from it?
Um, I do watch a bit of footy. I tend not to watch too much. I do watch a bit of footy in my off time. I do, especially experienced wingers like the likes of Josh Adokar, stuff like that.
Yeah.
We don't have similar playing styles. He's probably the quickest player in the NRL, but I always try to watch his game just positional wise and things he's doing off the ball. I try to yeah, watch for those little things.
Yeah, nice. And if you could play any other sport professionally, bro, what would it be? Do you watch any other sports?
I'm into my American sports,
Yeah.
NBA, and the NFL. I know I watch a bit of that. I do like to play a little bit of 2K as well. So I reckon, yeah, if I was to play another sports, I'll probably rip up the 2K or
Yo, and
probably
who's your
NBA.
team, bro? Who's your team?
um, I don't really support a specific team or like pick, I just watch like basketball, and
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a fan of just the game in itself in general.
Yeah, right there. And who's the biggest joker or pest in the team, bro? This is your chance to pay out one of the boys. Who's the most annoying?
um, oh, I don't want to say this because I'm one of the young boys, and he'll be like, "Hey," but I know one of the pests in the team. I'm pretty sure his name's come up as Jazz.
Oh,
He's
every
really
week,
he's
bro. Every week.
yeah, Jazz, bit of a pest. It's always on the boys' case. I'm gonna have to say this as well. A little bit of Reese, bit of a
Yeah.
pest, cheeky fella.
Yeah.
Um, Probably those two names probably stand out the most.
Yeah, they come up heaps, bro. What a duo, man. Jeez. And if you weren't a professional athlete, bro, what would your dream job be?
Ooh, dream job. To be honest, I couldn't. I can't answer that one.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a footy player.
Yeah.
Probably this has always been my dream to play in the NRL. I don't know if I've had any other backup plans
Nah,
for after footy. So
fair, bro.
probably
Well,
nah. I couldn't tell you, man.
fair. You've made it happen, bro. So that's unreal. A few listener questions for you, bro. First one comes through from Shannon Bagnall, and she
Yeah.
says, "Who was your league idol growing up?"
League idol. I have a few in my list. One of them is Greg Inglis.
Yeah.
Unreal, just freakish.
Yeah, for
Just
sure.
does things, just makes things out of nothing on the footy field. Another one of them will be Roger,
Yeah.
Rog. Even having to lace up the boots again with Rog last year was yeah, a dream come true for myself. Who doesn't look up to Rog?
Hard out.
And another one will probably be Jared Hayne. Unreal.
Yeah, some razzle in there, bro. I rate it.
Yeah, yeah.
And the next one's from Ben Fox, and he says, "What are your goals for 2023? And do you want to be a Warrior long term?"
Goals for 2023. For myself next year, I wanted to. I know in preseason, I wanted to, um, yeah, have a much more impact next year. Personally, I want to come back a little bit, cut down on my weight, and it's a little bit up at the moment. As the year goes on and at the back end of the year, so I know on the off season I won't be sitting around too much. I'll be going to start my pre-season before it
Nice,
actually
bro.
starts. So I know next year I want to trim down and yeah, be a lot more valuable to the team. I guess just don't want to be one dimensional. Um, yeah, that's probably one of my goals is just to add a bit of impact to the boys, to the team.
Nice, right there. And the last one's from Iraparangi, and he says, "How did you manage to recover so well from all the broken ankles I dished you in basketball?"
Really, yeah. Oh, I remember at one game. Eddie's from he trained our under 20s team,
Yeah,
and there's a basketball rim outside the changing room. I don't know if you've seen that yourself,
yeah.
but I remember one day we were playing basketball and just dishing out the ankle breakers to Eddie.
Rough, rough. Got him, eh?
Yeah, yeah.
That's the one, bro. Well, that's it from me, bro. So thanks heaps for jumping on. Been unreal to hear a bit more about your story and excited to see you and the boys finish the season on a high this weekend. So go well, bro, and all the best for the Titans.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate it.